get started. Good evening, everybody. Let's see here. As you came into the room, you probably heard that this meeting will be recorded, and we do that so that we can post it up on our YouTube channel a couple days afterwards. We do get a lot of reviews afterwards, so that's why we record it and post it. I got Jay Church here, at least on the left of my screen, head referee. Allison Conrad, another head referee who's got a little bit of a hangover, probably, I guess, from the weekend festivities. I hear it was a great event. Congratulations on pulling that off. Thank you for joining us. And of course, Brian Farrell, head judge advisor for the state of Wisconsin, one of the two. All right, so let's jump right in. From the newsletter, you guys all know the beginning part is just going to be updating on the Explore program, and then we'll open it up to challenge, questions, issues, and discussion. So quickly about Explore. Those of you that read the newsletter today, the current festival calendar is in there. It's also on the FLL team's Google Calendar. A link was also in the newsletter. So here's how the festivals work for the Explore programs. Because the program runs basically both fall and spring, the registration period will remain open probably through March. The last Explore Festival is in April. So once that gets full to capacity, which is about 24 teams, then we'll shut down the registration. But a lot of Explore teams don't even sign up until January. So expect everything to remain open through March. Obviously, as the festivals happen, we'll take them off the registration process so nobody inadvertently signs up for a festival that already happened. Some of the festivals are hosted by local organizations. They are opening it up to at-large teams. So, for example, the first one is in at Elmbrook, and there's 10 team capacity, 6 of which are with the host organization. So that leaves 4 spots available for at-large teams. So as the registrations come in, if they fill up, then great. We're going to cap it at 10. This year, those of you that went through the schedule, you see that we're pretty much Milwaukee area heavy this year. Last year we had one in Madison because that coincided with the Challenge Championship. This year, because of issues or scheduling conflicts with Madison College, the FLL Challenge Championship is in Waukesha, and so therefore that Explore Festival at the championship will also be at Waukesha, different high school, but nonetheless in the Waukesha area. So we're going to have to address that particular issue maybe this season, but certainly for next season. But yes, it is very Milwaukee area heavy this year. So in the newsletter today, again, there is a link to signing up for the FLL Explore festivals. You can sign up for as many as 3. With Explore, there is no competition, there is no advancement, so teams can participate in as many Explore festivals as they want, and of course that there is capacity to host them. However, if there are teams are still trying to go to their first festival, we're going to give those priority over those that have already participated in one. So please understand that we're trying to get to as many kids as possible to participate. And if there's space available, go to 2 or 3 of them. That'd be great. The cost of a festival is an addition. If you're not part of the host organization that's putting on the festival, there is a $25 team per event fee. And then that will be both communicated and via email, how you pay the $25 fee. And then a lot of that basically goes right back to the host so that they can cover their expenses for putting on the festival. Typically, the festival will run anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, depending on the size, depending on the number of teams participating. And so, for example, the very first one, I believe, is going to be 2 to 2.5 hours, only 10 teams. The last one of the season, which is the LOL in Wauwatosa, that was our largest last year. I believe that was 23 or 24 teams. And that was 8 o'clock to noon, and probably could have gone on for another hour if we had the mental capacity. Dealing with that many kids in a small space, well, it's draining. So, the Explore program, for those of you that are coaching it, you should know that you can work at your own pace. There's a lot of different festivals, excuse me, that you can sign up for. So there is no, urgency, so to speak, like there is with the challenge. The challenge program, we have regionals. Regionals feed into the sectionals, and then the sectionals feed into the championship. Once again, the Explore festivals, there's a lot of options to choose from. So work at your own pace and sign up for the ones that fit your need. Now, that being said, last year, for example, we had a bunch on the schedule and some just didn't garner enough interest. We're not going to have a festival with just 2 teams. So we want there to be that, event feel to it, sort of a critical mass number of teams. Last year, our smallest festival was only 4 teams, which I would argue was a bit too small. We'd like to see that, that number go up, but we're certainly not going to deny teams an opportunity and kids to present what they've done and have a good time anyway. So a lot of things still to kind of work out over the course of this Explore season. In fact, I'm waiting to hear back from 2 more directors of 2 more events. Again, both those 2 happen to be in the Milwaukee area, so we may be like oversaturated, but we'll address that as the registrations come in, possibly consolidating festivals, so on and so forth. All right. I think that's it for me on the Explore festivals at this moment. Let me open it up for any questions. Right now, specific to Explore. And yes, there are dog tags for the kids in Explore, which I just happen to like black. The black background makes them look really cool, but that's just me.
Jen, I saw your mic come on. If you were trying to talk, you're muted.
No, I was just here to answer any questions about Explore festivals, but
Okay.
I don't think there are very many Explore friends, but Craig, if we're able to get the 60 or so tags that we need for our event at the scrimmage, that would be ideal, I think.
You mean the Waukesha scrimmage?
Yeah, unless you aren't attending that one, in which case we would just need to figure out how to get them by the 12th.
Yeah, I'm back and forth to Milwaukee frequently. I'll get them to you one way or another. I will not be attending the scrimmage. I shall be traveling.
Okay, sounds good.
You have to give me some stuff for the 12th or for the scrimmage anyways, right? The ref shirts.
I know
Ref
I
shirts.
got to there's some stuff that got to go on the trailer, but yeah, we'll get it there.
Okay. Well, if you're going to get them here by then, I'll see Jen on that day. So I can
Yep.
get her the dog tags. You get them to
Very
me.
good. I will put them on the truck. Well, that's one of the things I got to give you, the dog tags for all the challenge tournaments as well. So for trailer 1.
I don't know. We might have to get the trailer weight after that. It's a lot of dog tags.
All right. So on the any Explore questions? Going once, twice. All right. We'll move on. Obviously, any questions, feel free to email fllteams@badgerbots.org, and I will do my best to answer the questions. Certainly from a coordination administration perspective, I can answer those. As far as guiding coaches, not a good idea to ask me. I would encourage you to go to the Slack channel. There is an FLL Explore excuse me, Slack workspace, there is a FLL Explorer channel within the workspace, and coaches, experienced coaches such as Jen will be more than happy to answer those types of questions. I hope you don't mind that I spoke for you, Jen. All right. So let's move on to challenge. Let's start with Jay. Anything from the referee perspective?
I'm just checking for updates real quick. Give me 10 seconds here. I'm almost there.
All right.
There are none. Okay. So no updates. We did have the Twist scrimmage this weekend. Thank you, Allison, again. It was a great event. We got to see some pretty good robot runs. Referees got our first real look at seeing some robots competing, and yeah, we'll definitely have some rep tips for you guys coming up, because we saw some things that I definitely think we need to share with you guys. Any questions for the robot game or anything competition related?
I have a Brian question.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on to judging and rubrics. Go ahead, Jen.
So, Brian, I'm just trying to understand what we can do in the, sorry for the noise behind me, in the parameters of the core values piece of things. So we went to the Twist event on Saturday, and we attempted our best attempt at doing a presentation. And so we're trying to understand how we would let the judging staff know that we would have that 1 minute thing prepared, because the judges that we were with didn't ask. So is it something where we should mention it as the kids are walking in, or do you want us to try to just forgo that 1 minute and try to integrate it as best we can into the presentations? What is your recommendation?
Part of that's a judge education problem. So we will be working with them to help them understand the new flow chart. I'm going to bring up the flow chart because I think that might help them understand what talking about. Okay, so in the new flow chart for this year, the judging session flow chart, which is really what the judging session, the format of it is. In Jen's referring to the final sharing feedback time, where I've basically said that the teams can, if they want to present based on this description from first, teams may choose to share a final thought with judges. Judges may ask clarifying questions, then we'll provide verbal feedback to the team. And the guidance I've given to the team so far on one of the previous calls was that the team can come up with a short minute or so summary if they wanted to do that. We will be bringing that up and trying to make sure the judges are aware that can happen, as well as they can ask some clarifying questions. Again, it's not an in-depth question time, because in that 8 minutes, if the team wants to give a minute or so to a summary, the judges have a question or two, we have to get to the verbal feedback, and 8 minutes will fly time-wise. But the guidance we'll be giving the judges is to, that they can ask the teams that.
Okay, that sounds good. We were just trying to best integrate it with whatever flow made most sense. Because at least if for our experience, we went project the 10 minutes, the robot went a little bit longer, and then it went right into core values. So we just needed to, so if you're going to share with the judges that the teams might have this 1 minute, whatever, then I think that at least they'll feel comfortable like bringing it up because they didn't want to interrupt the flow of questions. So, okay, perfect.
Okay.
Any other questions for anyone?
Jay, what do you believe will be the or maybe it's a Brian question. I'm not sure who makes the schedule, but it was 10 minutes between the two robots. And I know it'll be more than that for the true competition. But is it going to be like you go and then you have a half an hour block and then you go for your next robot? What's the absolute longest you would expect to have between elements of the competition, I guess is my question.
Well, the plan is to generally use the same schedule we had last year. Okay. So, a lotto was 45 minutes to an hour kind of breaks in between to allow for iteration and to not be super, rushed going from activity to activity. So, you're not running out of the judging room trying to get down the hallway to the gym to run your robot, dropping all your stuff, or vice versa, trying to get from the competition floor over to the judging room. So we try to have that set up. Ideal would be an hour. We don't usually get to pull that quite off, but it's kind of usually that 45 minutes to an hour kind of time frame. Not a guaranteed number, but it's
Yeah, but it's helpful to get an idea of
yeah
of what that would look like. Okay, thanks.
And again, it's the same schedule we ran last year, so
Okay, so we can
hopefully
just
that
look
feels
back at
about
our
right.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
And just also, some tournaments don't always use the same type of schedule. So the ones that Brian puts out are generally pretty consistent, but there are some other tournaments that do their own type of schedule formatting. So as soon as you get assigned to your tournament, which everybody should be, maybe reach out to your TDs and see what they're thinking on that too.
Yeah, I mean, they'll usually publish that, the week of the tournament. So
yeah, I think they're
what you
trying
know,
to
but
get an idea in advance of what to be looking for,
Yeah.
Craig, we don't know anything from TDs about using the schedule or not, yeah.
Most of the regionals and all the sectionals are going with the schedule that Brian described, the ones that most used last year.
Perfect.
I have not heard back from the tournaments that have that they still operate under the kind of old schedule, if you will, where it's judging all morning and robot all afternoon. So I have not heard back if they're willing to make the change this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
The schedule for West Salem, we haven't figured that one out yet. That one's going to be a little bit different due to the small number of teams. So we'll try to hold that same plan when we do it, but we haven't laid that one out on paper yet. That's my to-do later this week.
And I think Riverside is not planning on having a practice route, but other than that, I think his tentative schedule was pretty much on par with what we usually do. So just for people watching, the Riverside tournament is during a school day, so they're trying to fit all their teams in, and they're probably not
It's a
going to have
school
time
day.
for them.
It's in a school day trying to allow for busing.
Yep. And I can tell you guys, so I went to a couple of the other tournaments that don't use the what I'll call standard tournament format, and I didn't find that their rounds were too close together either. It was generally 45 minutes to an hour. So I don't mean to let you guys think that it's not going to be that much. I just am not sure what changes they may make to their format this year.
Any other questions? All right. I'll just use this as another opportunity to remind coaches. There still are a handful that are not event ready, which means you need 2 coaches registered at firstinspires.org. Both coaches need to have completed the youth protection program at firstinspires.org. So that will get you event ready. And then the final step is paying the $175 tournament entry fee, team entry fee, to BadgerBots. Those that have asked for invoices should have them. They were all emailed out on October 5th. So if you do not have that invoice and requested it, check your spam first. Otherwise, email fllteams@badgerbots.org. Otherwise, the link to pay that fee with a credit card online is in every newsletter. And then that will complete the eligibility of your team to participate in the regional. I will start sending out reminders probably later this week. And then as we get closer to the particular regionals, those reminders will get a little bit more threatening. There really is no reason why we shouldn't have all this lined up long before participation in the regionals. So keep that in mind. Get that
I've got-
done. Yes.
I've got a question. So I completed the youth protection program I think it was a year or two ago. How often do you have to do that? Is that every year or is it good for like 2 years?
I want to say
That's a
it's
good question,
3,
Brian.
but I want to say it's 3. That sound about right, Allison and Jay?
3 is what I was thinking as well.
Three.
I know I didn't have to do mine this year, so
Can you, when I log in, is there a way to see if my youth protection is expired or how do I figure that one out?
Click on your name and you have right-hand corner, I believe.
Okay, I'll have to log back in on my laptop and do that. Okay. Thank you.
so go to
I
your
believe there's also a
dashboard.
place for the team that it will tell you whether you're event ready or not.
Oh, I haven't sent it out to all the things. I know I'm not totally event ready. I was just
Oh,
work.
okay.
I wanted to know about me personally and then be able to work with the other 2 coaches too. So thank you so much. I'll check that out.
Yeah, I'm trying to share my screen. It's yeah, if you click on your name when you log in, there's a whole tab called Youth Protection Screening.
Okay, be
And it
careful.
actually-
This is, don't share your screen. Be
Yeah,
careful.
no, I
This is-
figured it out. But it'll give you like an expiration date on like when you're due next. So like mine's like 2026, and it'll tell you that, which is really helpful.
There's a question in the chat. Do you have a time chosen for Zooming with the refs?
You know, that one's on me. Craig asked me to do a what do you call it?
Slack poll.
A poll
Poll.
last week, and I completely forgot about it. So I apologize. I think the tentative time we have scheduled is next Monday during, or did you want to do it before or after, Craig? Sorry, I
My
dropped the
thought
ball on
was
that
do
one.
it before at 6:30 with the kids.
Okay.
And then continue afterwards with the coaches.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to plan on doing since there's really not enough time now for me to do a poll and get something scheduled and get information out. And that's what was tentatively in the newsletter, I believe. So,
That is correct.
yeah,
Although the
that's-
time still says 7:30, but
Okay.
we can send something out. All right. Anything else? All right, very good. Then we will call it an evening. And well, good luck to everybody this week. We'll see you again Monday next week then. Any questions, issues? FLLteams@badgerbots.org. All right. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.